Hello, how are you? You alright? I was just watching back Bexy's from yesterday, and that thing that she said, because it happens to all of us, but brain freeze a little bit, almost like your face freezes a bit, and you know full well that's the expression that's going to end up on Facebook when it decides to put a freeze frame in for you. I've had some right ones, I tell you. So, I thought I'd come in from the side today. There we go, look. Coming in from the side. Hello, how are you? Everything alright? I can even come upside down. Couldn't ever wanted to. But there we go. Good afternoon, welcome along. It's me, Dave, back with you. I said I'd see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m, but I lied. I'm doing 4 o'clock today as well. I've jumped in and said I'll do 4 today as well. So I'm back with you. Good to see you. How's your day been? Good afternoon, Dawn. How the devil are you? Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to Maddie Stanger. How the devil are you, Maddie? Hope everything's good with you. Day-wise, it didn't materialise into blue sky. If you were wondering from earlier on, I said I didn't know what it was quite going to do, but it hasn't rained, and it's not been overly cold. It's not been overly windy. It's been pleasant, but no bright sunshine. So there we go, eh? It's dry and windy where you are, Dawn. Hope I got that right. Gloria, big thumbs up to you, Gloria Leggett. Good to see you. How's things with you? Gillian Matthews is in with us as well. Good afternoon. Just in from a walk. And hello again to George. Raining now, waiting for the winds. Let's hope those winds don't develop, George. We don't want any strong winds. Anyway, let me just get a little bit more light in here. I'm going to open the blinds a little bit more so we can get a bit more light in. So that'll be better. There we go. So this is our 4 p.m. This is our sway and our stretch, and I'm desperately trying to keep it in my head. Our sway and our stretch for this week. So I think I've got it. We shall see, won't we? We'll soon see. I don't get it. If my hands start going all over the place, I'll just wing it. I say this is the adaptation of it. This is where we're going to take it. We're taking it into another realm, into a 5th dimension, something like that. But I've let the cat out of the bag now, haven't I? So I can't really do that anymore. Need to think before I talk, really. Anyway, how's things? Good afternoon. I'm feeling particularly lethargic this afternoon. Sunday lunch. We don't do Sunday lunch very often, like full roast type thing. But we had a Sunday lunch today, and it was the classic of I feel so tired afterwards. So I'm trying to do myself up. Go, come on, we'll do this. Anyway, I'm here. I'm with you. And that'll do it for me now. So then we are at 4 p.m. already. So let's lose those comments off the bottom of the screen if we want to. I'm just going to say hello to Vivian Dickinson. Before I do that, though, it's been a good day. Weather good. Bird count done. Job done. And a walk. I've done a whole spring clean today. Done a big spring clean. Top to bottom. Sides to sides. Skirting boards. Behind radiators, everything, I did say to my wife at one point, do not stand still because anything that isn't moving is getting cleaned. Ken Green, good afternoon to you. Let's swipe those comments off to the right and they are gone. Should we have a sway stretchy 3, 2, 1? 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everybody. You're with Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Sunday. It's the 30th of January. 2022, and this is our 4 p.m. sway and stretch. Now, we can do it in standing or we can do it in seated. In standing, I've got my fixed external support, got a good sturdy chair available if we're going to do it in seated. Before we do our sway, though, and before we do our stretches, we have a little bit of a circulation booster. So, as always, let's make sure there's nothing in the floor that's going to cause us any problems. We've got our comfortable footwear on. Some nice bright red trainers for you today, look. Posture-wise, we line everything up, heels in line with knees in line with hips, lift and lengthen to grow that a little bit taller, shoulders up, back and press down, and in seated, bringing the back away from the chair firstly, so elevating away from the front of the chair, then hip walking into the front third, and then lining everything up, starting with our heels, raising off the floor for our circulation boosting. Bringing the heels off the floor, starting to get some movement into there, exactly the same in standing, using our support or not, and then bringing that into a march, lifting the foot clear of the floor, pointing the toes down so we get some movement. Remembering in seated, if we get fatigue into those hip flexors, we have the ability to come back into those heel raises or a toe tap. Pop an arm in as well. Just one arm to start off with this march going, And then in standing, if we're not using support, and in seated, let's change to the other side. If we are using support, then let's think about putting the hand down before it comes off if the support's in front. And if it's to the side, losing the arm totally, as many steps as we need to turn to the other side, and then changing onto the other side when you feel comfortable with it. Now finally, in standing and seated, if you're not using support, this is, and you feel ready for it, both arms, both legs. More of the body moving, more of the body working, so we get this boost of our circulation. And I certainly need it this afternoon. Give that circulation a bit of a kick start, get it going, get us moving, getting the heart pumping a little bit faster, breathing a little bit heavier, and that's exactly what we want. It's a great thing to do. We do it first thing in the morning, we do it with all our snacks, but if we've been sat down for a while, like I have this afternoon, I've been doing that, I've been doing a bit of admin, need to have a bit of a circulation booster before I do anything else. So, start to bring it down, bring the feet back into a heel raise, bring it to a pause, at which point a couple of deep breaths is probably what we're looking for. Let's go into our sway routine then. And we've got a mixture of arms and legs. So let's have a look at these arms firstly. First thing, with our base of support sorted and exactly the same in the chair, we've got a shoulder roll, a controlled, thought out, deliberate shoulder roll. We're just going to do one of them, but let's do a couple to start off with. So there's our shoulder roll to start off with. Our second movement is about bringing those hands up and down. So we've got the floaty hands coming up and then down. And that gives us that ability, remember, to work into our wrists as well. So as we come up, the fingers point downwards, and then as we bring it down, the fingers point upwards. Now, we're aiming for about shoulder height here, but it's what's right for you. So if it's here, that's fine. It's that movement. It can work within your own range of motion. So we have a raise of the shoulder, of the arms, and a float back down. From there, we're going to bring the arms across the body to here where we pause. Get that momentary pause. So it's a bit like hammer time. So we're going hammer time, hammer time, hammer. And then it's stop. It's hammer time. No, don't do that bit. Okay, from here, we've got to push forward and feel the shoulders and the chest engaging as you push forward. Yes, so feel as though you're pushing something away from you. Rotate the hands around, clasp the hands and pull it back in, keeping those elbows in. So you feel the shoulder blades drawing together and get that motion within there. From there, we turn the hands down and we press back down as if we're pushing something down towards us. So we've got this float up, this stop, this press forward with purpose, rotate, draw in, rotate and press down. All the time putting our own resistance into that. So that's our first two parts of that. And it's exactly the same in the seated position. Adding the third element into that, we've got this, and it's just slipped from my hand, sock roll, Bex calls it, doesn't she? Where we bring the hands in, bring them together, and then roll them over and back down. So they come a bit closer. We've got the palms facing outwards, back of the hands coming together. Draw it up, roll the hands over, and then roll it so the thumbs come to meet each other in front. So you've got that rotational movement happening. So we're bringing them up, rotating round, and to there. Okay? And then from there, we can bring them back down to the starting position. So let's put all those three elements together. We start with our shoulder roll. We've got that float and lower. We've got the crossover with 4 elements actually. The stop, the push, the pull, the lower, and then we've got the sock roll. Okay? So, standing tall, sitting tall, shoulder roll. Cross the hands over the body, bring them up. Stop, push forward, rotate and pull down. And I've got it wrong already, haven't I? I have got it wrong already. I've left my floaty blades out. Okay, so let's go again. Shoulder roll. Float the hands up. Allow them to come down. Here comes that crossover. Here's that stop with the elbows in, press forward, rotate the wrists and draw back in. Again, rotating the wrists and opening the hands to press back down. Here comes our sock roll, cross and over, and pressing back down. There we go. One more time with that. So, shoulder roll, and it's exactly the same in seated, just to show you, look. Shoulder roll to start off with, the float and the lower, bring it across the body with that pause, press, rotate and pull, rotate and press, back of the hands together, bring it around, sock roll and press down, and there we are. Now, let's put some feet with it as well, okay? So, the first thing we're going to do on this shoulder roll is a lift of the heel. Lift on one side and then lift on the other. With this across and back and push forward, we've got a shift of weight that's happening. So just that shift of weight from side to side, a small amount of weight. We've got ourselves with our feet around about hips width, so it really is just this little shift of weight within there. We've not got a big wide stance. So we've got shoulder roll and leg lift. The float up and down. Now on that we're going to put a little knee bend in. So we've got a bend of the knee as we float up and down. We've got this shift of weight happening within there. Here's the pause, the press, the rotate, the pull in, the rotation and the press down. You'll see that this shift of weight really is very small within this base of support. Reason we're not taking a wide stance is because we're going to bring it in now with this part. So we're going to bring the hands in. And as we roll those socks, we bring the foot in. So onto our toes, look, so we bring the hands together, we bring the foot in onto our toes, and then we step out as we roll over, coming back down into here. On the other foot then, we come in, we roll over and step out and press back down, which brings us back into a wider base of support. So let's put it all together. We start with our shoulder roll, lifting onto the heel on one side and then onto the heel on the other. We've got the knee bend with the float of the hands and the lower. We've got that shift of weight that happens, just a small shift of weight as we pause here. We've got the press forward, the rotation, the pull back in and the press down. Here we bring the toe in, we step out, back in, and then bring that foot back in. On the other side, stepping in, stepping out, toe down, heel down, and stepping back on in. In seated, exactly the same movement. Let's give it a go. So, we've got our shoulder roll and our lift of the heels. We've got the knee bend, and for that we can put a raise onto the toes. We've got that shift of weight that happens from buttock to buttock. This pause here, I think we should put a stop there. Stop. Push away. Rotate and draw in. Rotate and press. From here, bring the hands in. Step in, toe. Step out, toe, heel. And step back in, toe, heel. On the other side, come on in. Step out, toe, heel. Step back in, toe, heel, and we are done. There we go. That is your sway routine for this week. Let's go into our stretches, and as always, we'll start with our upper body. So into the back of the shoulders, we've got that, we've had that push forward, we've had that pull back, haven't we? So let's lengthen through the back of the shoulders and lengthen through our chest. Firstly, the back of the upper back, taking the arms out in front, cupping one hand inside the other, as if you've got your hands wrapped around a tree. Push away. And if you want to, you can lower your head slightly, just slightly, so you're looking just under your hands, about 6 to 8 foot in front of you. Holding this for around about 12 to 20 seconds, and then release. And exactly the same in seated. Then we bring the hands into the small of the back. Now palms either facing away or facing in, choice is yours. And in seated, we've got an alternative as well. So we can do that, but if we find it more comfortable, we can place the hands onto the side of the chair, just behind our bottom. We draw the shoulders back slightly, but only slightly, because the bulk of the move is to lift that chest. And then we get this lengthening across the top of the chest here. Think about that push away that you did with the resistance added in. You were imagining you were pushing something away. Release on out of there. Bring it in. Let's just have a little rest, little movement into our shoulders as well. So bring one hand up onto the shoulder. Elevate the elbow up and walk the fingers down the back if you can. Now from here, bring one hand down onto the side. Take the other hand up and reach a little bit taller. So just like you're trying to be seen at the back of a crowd. We're not coming across, we're just reaching taller to get that elevation and that lengthening through here. Help the hand down and then change to the side. So onto here, push up. Now if you can't take the hand up in the air, you stay here. Lift a little bit and then we do lean over just to get this stretch here, to get this lengthening here. However, if we can take the hand up to the ceiling, we just reach that little bit taller and we feel that lengthening coming on down through the side here. Release on out, help the hand down, and let's go into our legs. Take the foot away. In seated, we're going into the calf. So heel down, toes up. We keep the knee soft and we ease the heel away and bring the toes in towards us. In standing, with our support either in front of us or to the side, we take a step back. Toe down, heel down, and then bend your front knee and allow yourself to lean into it, keeping that heel down at the back. Now, if your support's by the side, take your hand forward a little bit. So as you lean in, you come level with your support. But I say if your support is in front, then you can put your hands on. Again, we hold it for around about 12 to 20 seconds. In standing, unbend the front knee a little bit and step in, and in seated, just bring the foot back in. Change to the other side. Now, if you're not using support, it's exactly the same. We take a big step back, toe down, heel down. We get those toes to point in the same direction. And by that, what I mean is it's not pointing out here. It's pointing the same way as the front foot. And then bend your front knee and allow yourself to lean into it. Now, if you don't feel the stretch, what you need to do is come back up, take a bigger step back, because we don't want these knees to come any further forward than our toes. We want a straight line from our head down to our heels. Again, we hold it for around about this 12 to 20 seconds. And then we push up through the front leg, step back in. You might want to have a little pedal there. Let's go into the back of our thigh. So, support again if we're using it. Leg that's closest to the support, stay still. Other foot steps forward. If our support is to the side, hand in front. Lift a little bit taller and hinge at the hip. Stretch comes in through the back of the thigh. In seated, what we do is we extend the leg as we did before, but this time relax your toes down towards the floor. Sit a little bit taller again, hands on the bent knee, and there's that hinge. Hinging forward from your hips so you get this stretch coming on down through the back of the thigh. We're looking at around about 12 to 20 seconds again. We're just holding it, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then releasing out of it after that 12 to 20 seconds. Take a step in. And standing, turn round to face the other way, as many steps as you need. Set yourself up, and away you go. Again, in standing, if you're not using support, then step forward again, lift and hinge. So it's exactly the same. Hands, we can put them onto this bent leg or on our hips. What we don't do is put them onto this front leg. And again, we feel that lengthening down through the back of the thigh. Now, if you do this later as well, if you want to increase your flexibility, what we could do is when it starts to ease off, we take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we try and take it a bit further. But only if you want to try and increase your flexibility. And remember that you shouldn't feel any pain there. So if you start to take it a bit further and you get pain or twinging or heat, you release back out of it. Come back up, step back in, have a little pedal through with those feet, and there we are. That is it. You are done. Right, that is me done for today. Have a great evening. Keep active, keep mobile, keep crowbarring additional activities in as well. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Take care, everybody. Toodle pips.